Hey guys, here a couple videos ago I had posted about putting Hogue on notice, and since then I wanted to do a comparison of these. I think it's an interesting couple of knives to compare side by side. I haven't seen any direct comparisons of it. There's obviously a lot of videos out on the Ritter Hogue. There's nothing I could really add to any of those. You know, there's a lot of good content out there on this particular knife. This one, not so much. And this was the first one I bought. Mainly, one, somewhat kind of some of the reviews of Hogue's other knives, but the numbers of it and the price point. I was looking to replace a knife, and, you know, I was having a hard time swallowing paying, you know, what was it, $160, $170 for a knife. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So, anyways, I bought this knife and I carried it for, I don't know, 3 months before I broke the belt clip. I'd sharpened it probably 4 times or so. And it has the S30V steel. So pretty good steel. I mean, it's nothing to balk at. I like it. I have had a little chippy experience though, and I may talk more about that here in a bit. So anyways, when that broke, I ended up getting the Ritter Hogue. And this is a knife that has a lot of good reviews, a lot of great content out there. You know, I don't think I could add anything to what's already been covered about this knife. Its general consensus is a really great knife. S35V steel or VN or whatever it is. You know, or no, this is the 20CV on this. 20CV steel. You know, I have not sharpened this yet. I think I took my leather strop. I don't even know if I've done that to this one yet. So I haven't done anything to this yet. I've carried it a few weeks now. Since I got this, I've carried it a little off and on. So, but anyways, great knife. Really great knife. So comparing the two of them, you know, you're looking at like a $50 price difference. I think this has went up in price to $130 now or something. I don't know for sure, but everything's going up in price. Anyways, lights just went out. See if things work again. Actually, it may be better with the lights out, wouldn't it? Huh. But comparing them side by side, there's some obvious differences. You know, when you set them size-wise, they're close. You know, one thing that I did not like, let's see if I can get this side by side good enough for you to see a difference here. It's pretty close there. You can see that the Sig K320 is thicker. That blade's just fatter and just enough of a difference that it was my one complaint on that, is just how much thicker it was. I don't even know if I can show it well here. How do those good guys do that? Anyways, it's just a little thicker through here. And I've always liked, and I don't know why, carrying a knife just closed in my hand from place to place. And this just does not quite fit comfortably closed to carry. So, you know, I don't like to carry an open knife. I like to go ahead and flip it closed, especially if I'm going from one place to another, and the next thing I'm doing is using a knife. I don't put it back in my pocket. And that, at times, could just be annoying. Just thick enough that it's, you know, kind of annoying. And getting used to this, that's taken a little bit there. That's not been the easiest. So when I grabbed this and I started carrying this, it's a little better. It's still not perfect, but it is a little better. And the action on this, you'll hear everybody, you know, rave about. It is fantastic. It's great. And it is. It's just, you know, good. Ergonomics are good. Just fantastic blade. The Sig was not bad at all from the factory. I have adjusted it a little bit, and I have put a lubricant in there as well, oiled it, and once I got it adjusted like this, it has just stayed, and it has just been a fantastic action. You know, the weight is different in these, the ergonomics is different. This one is a little easier to hold, it's a little more comfortable. So if you are seriously wanting to sit there and fidget for hours on end and just do that, there's worse knives out there than this one to do that with. This one's actually, you know, fairly comfortable. This one here, you're not going to do that. The flipping out with a thumb, and this may just be me, but it's not exactly, it's not as easy as with the actual stud. Now, what I can do is with only this finger, I can't middle finger flick it, but that one there, it flicks out just fine. And this is the way that I found myself opening this knife. The action is easier, it's something different, just kind of neat. So enough of that, let's talk about some actual shapes and designs and things that make these comparable and makes them different. Let's start in the handle, because realistically I hit on that a little bit already. That's one of the more important points to me, is the handle and the thickness of the handle. And these are, you know, chamfered over fairly good. It has very minute swelling or differences here, but you can definitely, you know, makes it a little bit more comfortable. Has nice long jimping up here. Fairly, I mean, it's not sharp, but there's enough there you get pretty good traction on that. Texturing is only back here. It's not up in this spot here. I could argue both ways of why that's good and why it's, you know, cool. It was a decision. The cutout here is pretty good. I did actually sand inside this slot a little bit. I just gave it a slight champering there because it was just sharp enough that when you squeezed down on it, you could feel it into your section there. I lost her light again. It doesn't want to play well. But anyways, so I did sand that down a little bit. Has a nice drop back to it here. As you can see, the curves are pretty decent. I mean, it fits well in my hand. For me, I have medium to large hands, and, you know, I don't want it much thicker than that top to bottom. I see what they're doing. I see how they're filling space. It's doing good. You know, it fills the space well. You can choke up on it here. The versatility of this is actually not bad, because even like going from this grip here, my finger just comes around it, and that belly is just lined up just great for little skinning or little, you know, tasks of that nature. And you can just, you know, come up even tighter, and still the way that swoops is my finger basically just lays all right on it. So as far as control goes, this thing feels really good that way. I mean, it was surprising how this kind of just fit in here. You know, it looks tactical, but when you grab it like this, you get this Skinner feeling of it that, you know, is really nice. And to give you an idea, here's a super curved knife, but, you know, you kind of see that same swoop on that. So that really surprised me on this, and how well that worked. So anyways, we know about that blade. We know about this grip shape. We'll put them side by side here to kind of show you that it swells out just a little bit more, especially in the palm in this back section. The jimping there is a little wider across, a little shorter section. I it's a little sharper back here. Up here, again, still just a touch sharper. Here you have more. So it's, they both work great. It's just a slight difference in feel. This one, your thumb curves down with it, which is a little bit more comfortable. This is surprisingly good. It really is. This is more comfortable for me through this width here. This just fits better. It's something, if you're telling me I'm going to be whittling for 3 hours or something like that, I'm going to hold this knife. Can I do it with this one? Absolutely. I sure can. This one's just going to be more comfortable. Length, again, about the same. Your modified, or my modified ways of grabbing that, again, if you notice, that action surprised me. But this one doesn't line up the arc quite the same. Not the same kind of motion, comes to that point more. Yes, you get a ton of control. You don't have quite as much skinning, is what I'm going to call a skinning style cut, as you do with the Sig, but still good feel. Just different design. Looking at the blade thicknesses, I don't have the numbers, but they are arguably almost impossible to tell the difference by eye. Let's see if I can get to focus on it here. So, sliciness, I haven't sliced enough like proteins or anything with it to tell you there. Vegetables, I've done a lot of boxes, little skinning, a couple things like that, but haven't got enough. They both slice really good. They both work very, very well. Just slightly different versus your cutting style is going to make more of a difference in what I think the edge thickness on these are. They're just good knives. They're darn good knives. I'm not going to say this one beats the Doug Ritter Hogue by any means, but I am saying if you don't have $160, $170 or whatever, but you do have where you can pick this up for $120 or $130, you may not notice the difference enough. It may not be a $50 or $40 difference for most people. It's hard to say. I'm happy with it. I hope this kind of shows a difference between them some. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to like and comment. Any revenue that I've been getting from those likes and comments, which I greatly appreciate, I've literally just bought knives with lately. But if there's something else you want me to review or see, that's great. I'm still waiting to see about what knife. Wow, that dulled down. What knife I'm going to get. That Sendero pack knife from White River Knives has gotten mentioned before. I'm thinking that might be an option. But I still like that Backpacker M1 Caper and that burlap. It's a pretty looking knife. Or the Azula. A lot of people say that Azula's a great little everyday carry knife. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day.